This video is a couple hours long because we're going to go through the whole process of me editing my first title sequence. Let's check out the final results so that you can get a sense for where we're going. You can watch all 3 videos for the entire series, and links will be in the description. There's also a short overview video where I go behind the scenes and cover the whole thing within just a few minutes if you'd rather check that out. So without further ado, let's get on it. Okay, welcome to my second video in my Raw series where you're going to watch me learn, but in this video I've got a lot more familiarity, we'll say, in the editing process. You're probably coming from watching me color grade these videos to create sort of a title sequence, and that took about 2 hours. So if you watched that, good for you. You deserve a gold star. If you love that, please leave a comment and let me know, because I can keep making that kind of stuff, which is what this video is going to be, pretty raw. So, but in this case, what we're going to do is take the results of that, which, let's take a look at that. I should let this play. This is the results of what we made in that other video, and it's I'm aiming for ominous, and you can kind of see, like, clearly the birds are fake, but something creepy about this. And as I was watching this last night after making this, I realized it's not half bad, and I could see some things really getting tightened up. For one, each sequence is way too long, but that's what we're going to do in this video. Is we're going to cut it down, refine it, and add some more effects, and probably even clean up, like these bees here, for example. I was a little frustrated in the first video how they were coming together. Maybe I just need to master masking a little better to get the result I want. But that's what we're going to do in this video. So at the end of this, we'll have a visual sequence. It won't be a cohesive story per se, but it'll be kind of ominous and interesting, and we'll do some fun things. I have some fun ideas. Then after that, once we have that result, I'll be making another video where we make music for it. And yeah, so let's just hop into it. Okay, so one of the first things I noticed when I watched this full screen was the some of the birds were kind of bluish. Like as they come into the light, they're a little off in color. So I want to try and find a piece of this where, like, that one bird right there that just swung by the light, maybe he's orangish. I want to make sure I get a portion of that clip where you don't see that. So let's start there. We're going to that was towards the end, so maybe we'll focus somewhere in the middle here. Let's zoom in a bit on the timeline. Not that much. I have not mastered Davinci Resolve zoom. I don't know if there's tools and things to make all that better, but anyway, let's not go down a rabbit hole already there, Rob. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim this down. Gosh, I don't know. How long does this even need to be? Title sequence. Something's moving pretty quick. We'll give the video a second to start up, and then that's probably time to move on. So let's just go with that. That's generally how I work through this, is I get a feel for, let the video load, let them pay attention for a second, and then it's time for change. So maybe even make this a little tighter. Sort of feeling my way through the video before it's even made. Now I've got my next clip here, and I know that the portion that I really wanted on this one was where the bird kind of leans into the skull here. I think that's kind of neat. I don't really know why, but I also find the skull is moving way too slow. It takes forever. You have to really speed it up to see it make any movement at all. But since we're going to overlap these, we got plenty of time, so let's go ahead and speed this up. I don't know exactly where we're going to bring it in yet. Ooh, here we go. This is one of the other things I wanted to do, is I decided I wanted to flip these two. So flip it, that was what I had in my head. I don't know that I love it. One of the other things I thought I might try too is increasing the size of the wind turbine. I called it a windmill. I don't know what the heck you call these things. The green energy, man. I want to do something with this zoom, but what? I think I want to go up. Yes, no. Is it more ominous that way? Is it going to look like crap because I zoomed in too far? Let's see. One of the things I do is I have full screen crap. Hang on a second. Something happening on my other screen here. There we go. So I do floating window on Davinci Resolve so I can have this at full 1080p. That's the largest monitor I have. Well, my most common monitor. My largest is what we're using here. But I like to break this out so I can see it bigger when I'm in the audio. I don't pay for Davinci Resolve Studio yet. I am probably going to soon because I use it a lot. And I love it. It's such a cool tool. But really what I want to do is just create enough of a visual that we can see. I'm really wasting my time here, so let me just drop this in. We don't have any audio in any of this. So I think pull this back out. That's good enough. Oh, what the hell's going on here? We'll call that graphic card issue, maybe. Let's see if we can make this bigger. Yeah, something's funky. I have a feeling it's this window or all of the video tools I have going. Okay, so there we go. Drops in. That seems to be working. Okay, so anyway, go back to the timeline and let's cross dissolve this skull in. Video transition, I've got that marked as a fave here because I use it a lot. Yeah, what I was doing was I got distracted by all the setup of my window. I was aiming to make sure this didn't get too blurry. It seems okay. That was the goal of making it bigger. I'll just leave that there so we can do that check every once in a while. The skull fades in. I think this is where we need to color correct it to fit this. So this is going to be an extension of the color correction lessons. Is this the color? Let's see, what was the... I can just delete that quickly. Yeah, interesting. I'm probably going to completely destroy everything that I used to learn, but that is fine. It was just to learn. I think I want to move the windmill over more. Do I like the skull that big? I think I have to keep it pretty big, but let's go to the windmill. Push it to the left. No, that's not why, bub. There we go. I do think I like the ground showing a little bit. How much of the ground can we get? I like that you're looking up, and I want that to sort of cut into the skull. Ooh, I almost want to run it backwards. That was another thing I was going to try. Hell yeah. Run the birds backwards. Talk about ominous feeling, and I don't think you'll even notice the windmill spinning backwards. But I feel like I want it to cut into the skull. Cut down. Let's just focus on getting this visual going, so we're going to push it over. Okay, not hating that. Let's look at it bigger, just so we can see. Man, I can't get to the timeline with this. Let me push this up. I tell you, managing the monitors has been a fun thing for when you're working remotely and you're like out and about, not at your desk. Sometimes you just got to work off your laptop monitor, and if you pay for Davinci Resolve, which was a point I was trying to make earlier, you actually get to put this on a full screen, isolated, and preview everything. Okay, so I definitely need to do some color grading. So let's hop over to here and let's take the curves. This is a mask. I did delete that color node, and it's okay because I didn't need it anyway. I didn't like what we did, so we'll just add another one. We'll right click, hit new node label, and we'll say color. And then I'll come over to this. I don't know that I want to mess with the curves at all. I might, just to check and see if there's anything worthwhile here. Ooh, yeah, look at how dull the skull is with this. And if I bring this up, that brings in some of those cracks. So I'm going to go ahead and tweak this a little more to fit this scene, because before it was for the bird, Mr. Birdie. Mr. Birdie who left the turdy on the fence. If you watched the other video, I mentioned something about that. That might become a short. I'm kind of liking the way the clouds go through the eyes here, so yas. Damn, that stressing this laptop out. That's kind of cool. Ooh. All right, it's happening. Oh, this is just screwy. I'll have to figure out what's going on there. Okay, so I don't hate that. I think what I wanted to do was have that whole idea of video starts, let them get going, then it's time for some movement, and then boom. Because we don't need this to go very long, and especially when we add music, we'll think through. I would like to actually extend out how long this takes to show up, because I want it to sort of feel. Maybe that's something we do almost immediately. Well, we want to give them time to get tuned in mentally, which is something I know, tuning out. Oh man, that looks good. Okay, you know what would be cool is if I can mask this in a way that hides them, like they're going behind the skull. No, I don't know. I'm not. I'll stop worrying about those details here. So comes in. Do we want to keep the birds flying backwards? It's kind of funky, I must admit. All right, based on that, let's move on. We don't need this to be much longer, and I need another track up here. Probably could have just drug this up. Drag it up. Drag it up. God dang it. Let's go ahead and cross dissolve this into, probably do some animation maybe. I don't know if I'm going to add text yet. I think it would be wise for this to be for me to call it a title sequence just for marketing purposes. Bye, neighbor. Sorry your car's loud. I know that wasn't an intentional thing. Let's see how we're looking. Ooh, what the hell happened here? This just cuts out, so let's... Damn it. I definitely need to address that, because I can't stretch them at the end. And I didn't like the end anyway, so let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and let this go. Crap. Okay, so the video itself is not long enough to extend past that, and I think we're getting an ugly jump here. We're going to need to address that. Oh, you know what? Here's something that I've been fucking around with. I'm just going to say it. That's what I wanted to say. Unedited. I like flipping shit around. So like, if you've ever seen my ASMR videos, which why not implement something like that in here? I'm gonna go flip it to go the other way, and then we're going to bring, oh shit, I gotta be careful with the timing. I'm messing with the time. I want to have it go backwards in the middle of the scene, so we can leave this longer. Let's go ahead and just drag this over now and see what happens if forward. Well, it's actually backwards because we flipped it and then it goes forward again. Just curious. Okay, that's not half bad. Okay, got an idea. What we'll do is delete the first one. Make sure we're fully extended out here because, oh wow, got all kinds of room. I don't need to go that big. Bum, bum, bum. But I do need to figure out where my end is. Right? Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm thinking, and I need to talk. So what I'm going to do is flip this so that when the skull comes in, it switches from going forward to going backwards. It's like the skull. What if the birds did the same thing? Okay. This is going to be a fun idea to test out, but I got to be careful with my timing to where, let's just figure out where we want this. So if we did that, video's going forward, right? I need to think through how to do this. I think I can just take it from here now and just, let's zoom in. Yeah, see, we weren't quite there. Paste this in there. The idea was that as this comes in, so I want this to happen. Shit, see, that's why it's so dang important. This is a waist. This is here. And one thing I know for a fact is I've tried doing cross dissolves on this type of thing where you transition from forward to backwards. And it doesn't work well because then you start seeing both of them at the same time. You need to see an immediate transition. It's like it, maybe you could slow it down, but it's got to be clean. Boom. See, now all of a sudden the skull shows up and it shifts. It's like, hey, so is that cool? Might be cooler if it happens when the skull transitions or comes in. Windmills are turning and the devil's coming for you, and then all of a sudden it is the devil. Just because it's a skull doesn't mean it's the devil. Oops, I'm dragging my cross dissolve here. I don't know. It seemed neat, but now it seems stupid. So, cut. That's what we do. Try things out, see what happens. Let's check our timing. Give them a second to get going, and then, yeah, that was a little quick. So let's back out a little bit. Oh my god, I don't need the whole thing. Not that much. Try it again. Think through, give them a second to get started, and then movement. So this needs to happen. Must be some keyboard shortcut for that, because it keeps happening to me. Then it starts happening. That felt a little late. Probably because I have cross dissolve so far out. Ominous skull becomes, so that seems about right. I don't think you need to be watching this very long before you start to be like, hey, there's a skull coming in there. And then there's a birdie coming in. Where's the birdie going? What we need to do is move on. Take the bird and we flip it. Something about the birdie and the flipping. And I wanted, yeah, nice, feels good. Birdie comes in. Ooh, and seeing the bird still behind the skull, that's kind of cool. That was unexpected. I did not think that last night when I was kicking this idea around. I did not think about that detail at all. That was a happy accident. So cool beans. That makes me want to tweak my bird's mask so that we can see more birdies. So let's go here and root. Oh God, this was for the. That was hiding the that color burst of color right there. I did not like. See how we need to tweak this so that it works. I kind of like how the mountain or the sky in the background there, the turbine. Let's see if we can we just do this? Tighten this up a little. Oh no, we can't touch the birdie, so we gotta have green. I could do a chroma key and use the green. I might do that, but let's just try this and see, because that's something I gotta brush up on. I haven't done that in quite a few years. I think this is pretty good. I don't know that I want all three elements on the same. Whatever I want to call it, doesn't matter. Skull comes in, then the birdie comes in. I think at that point the turbine needs to fade out. Okay, let's do that exactly. So go back here and then this can be as long as we need it to be. That's the end, so we know. I don't know. Let's just cross dissolve this out. Make it go away and see what happens to the birds. Oh. I think we're going to be moving on by then, but that was kind of cool. We got birds flying over the birdie's face. I don't like that. But I'm not hating where this is going. See, I think we need to fade that out by then. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know what kind of music we're going to have yet. We're going to have to feel that out. Just like we're feeling the timing, we'll give them a second to get engaged, and then something starts happening, and then things keep moving. They got to keep flowing. Like that bird was needing to be happening sooner. I also want some movement in these, so we're going to do dynamic. What's the frickin' term that I'm looking for? Video dynamic zoom. Let's just see how the birdie looks when we do dynamic zoom. Let's see. Okay, but I think I want to go swap the birdie. And no, I don't need the bird very long, and that's going to change how fast the dynamic zoom plays out. It's really a long video here. I do want the bird to have its little lean into the skull. If you saw the first video, for some reason I just loved that. So we're going to pull that in, make sure he's in the scene fully. And here comes the skull, here comes the bird. Going to be transitioning. I think I want the windmill to be gone about the same time the bird comes on. So bird's here. Windmill needs to be gone by then. I don't know why I keep making songs, but this is raw, so you're gonna get me singing. If you were painting a room with me, you would find me to be quite silly, especially if I'm exhausted. Might be somewhat obnoxious. That's fun, but I feel like, is that too fast? Timing is so important here. Really need to make a decision. I don't even know. This thing could be short as hell, because I get bored. Don't want people to get bored. It's for a freaking movie, man. So we don't want to be boring. People won't want to watch the movie. Stop with the accent, bro. Pay attention to the timing. I'm just making funny things and wondering why. Okay, timing. Give him a second to get engaged, and then something starts happening, and then it transitions in this. Okay, cool. I think I'd like to transition that a little slower. So it's more of a even keel thing happening here. That's a little too soon. I really can't wait to get music in this. I'm sorry, but that mill needs to be gone by that point. It's just too much. Okay. Now I think what I want to do then is pull the bird back a smidge, because he's not going to look just yet. Although this is like a pretty rapid smack him with it, move on, smack him with it, move on, smack him with it. Yeah. Birdie comes in. Skull. I'm just now noticing the skull's in its own color scheme now, because we've lost the background for the windmill. Alright, well that's what we're doing, figuring this out. So this is definitely an extension of the color grading lesson, because I'm understanding more how color grading affects each video as things transition. So if you got straight film shot off of one style of camera, or properly planned with all the right colors and everything in place to begin with, makes life a lot easier. But what we're doing is sort of a challenge, and I'm just going to try and get back to focusing here instead of rambling. I want those to be ants once oh my god, could I get a video of ants and have the birds transition to ants as they go. Let's do a cross dissolve on the birds so that we can at least see them sort of fade and not cut. Yeah, they just dropped right the hell off of there. What the hell? Oh, you know what? What's this temperature curve thing? Is that? Oh, transition curve. I've never noticed that moving before. What the heck was that about? Oh, grumbles. Froggies in my throat. Oh, what the hell was that about? I have a feeling that this cross dissolve isn't working because of the composite. So is this something that's animated all the time? I did not know that. Okay, so there's a transition tab, and I cannot see these guys going away. I do not love that at all. That's just horrific. So I need to keep or move on. Okay, challenge time. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can just move on because this is getting old. But what's happening is the transition sort of comes apart because of the birds and things, and because of the structure of the image here with the compositing, and then the bird comes in. I really kind of want this windmill to be gone shortly after that. But the thing that I'm finding is that right as we get to the end here, we need that bottom image, and I mean, even if I just drug it out farther, is that enough? Part of me really wants that windmill to be gone at a certain point, and I keep fighting with that. See? All right, get back to where we were. So let's just plan on moving on at that point. The thing that I got to figure out really is the color grading that we're using here for the skull is for this initial image, but we're not thinking about how that skull ties into the rest of it yet. So I think what I need to do at this point is probably add another track. Let's see, I forget. I think if I add it here, yeah, then I can bring my bees in, I think. Oh yeah, I was going to use bees. I need another track, one more add track, which is my book. So as the birds are fading out, let's cross dissolve the book in. And then that'll keep sort of things moving. Yeah, because then that way the bird, the skull, and I'm not sure, there's something that feels like we're getting there, but I really am feeling like I want that bird to lean into that skull. Oh, it was almost like he got shocked that it went away. Like what the hell? So, anyway, here, birdie, let's leave the skull out just long enough for you to say hi. Okay, that transition's a little much, but it's not bad. I like the fact that the bird is slow. I'm noticing that as I'm watching the timing here. The skull rolls in, and here comes the bird, and the bird leans in, and so I definitely need to make that happen sooner. Bird leans in by now, because we're moving on already. That's the thing. So now I fucked up all my timing from the beginning there. Bird probably needs to come in around this point. We don't need the skull to be fully on until the bird comes in. And I know that I need to go adjust this birdie's mask. So, because I want to have him be more... One of the things I was looking at last night was the lighting on this, in the trees here. The way they kind of glisten, and that the skull, I thought there could be a cool, like, maybe, what do they call it, bokeh effect in the transition or something. I don't know that I'm going to use radial blurs the whole time. Radial blurs? Cross dissolves. Man, I tell you. Alright, let's go to... if you don't love watching things 1,000 times, this is the wrong business for you. I know I drive my wife nuts if she can hear when I used to do animation a lot and I had voiceovers, it'd be like repeating something, and she's like, oh my god, could you put your headphones on? I am starting to like this. The glisten needs to become the book thing. So I almost want this skull to have more or less blue at this stage. So let's see if we can come into the color thing here. And let's do real color changes here. Come on now, my mouse. Is anything happening? Oh, see, I'm mucking with the bird. I need this blue to be kind of gone. I don't know. Do I go more towards the green by this point? What's going to look best? Man, I wish I could make that screen bigger. I just really would love to have tweaky, go into the orangish browns, come back a little less, too green. What's the next scene look like? Let's see. Oh, sweet. Now, I know that we could keyframe this shit, so... So much to learn. But I don't hate where we're at, and I don't want to take you down too deep of a rabbit hole. I mean, maybe this is one of the disadvantages of filming myself learning, where I'm going to be like, normally I'd suffer. Do I want you to suffer? But you chose to suffer with me. And I appreciate that. I hope you find that you learn something. Or you just appreciate my art. I like this. I think I like the color. Let's look at the bigger version. It's a little green. Still. See? Oh, I really need to learn that freaking keyframe thing. So, here it's too green. Can I add a static keyframe? I mean, come on. Could it be that easy? I know how to animate. Just want the green to be transitioning in around here. Otherwise, I don't want the green at all. So maybe we can push this keyframe up. Okay, clearly that's doing it. I just need to zoom in a little bit more, I think. Well, never mind. I really do find it challenging to navigate all the little details when you're my age. You got eyes that have a interesting range, we'll say. I can see just fine at the right distance for the right thing, and Davinci Resolve is a little tricky. There's probably some accessible features, but I just want this to transition to, but it like completely starts over. What's the deal with that? Can I zoom this? Oh, I see. Well, let's look at these real quick. I think I'm going down a rabbit hole I'm not really interested in doing. So let's just forego all of that. And let's add a keyframe here. And go back here and do what we know to do with animation and just reset that color and hit play and hope you come in kind of brownish and blackish and whatever, and then you turn green. Okay, it's a nice snap of a green. Touge. Can we create like a tween? God. Oh man, I wasn't really planning on going all down this rabbit hole, so maybe I just need to find a different color. I'm really not in the mood to learn this right now. There's so many timelines on Davinci Resolve, and each one kind of has a little different thing to it, and they just created the new version keyframes on this timeline. You know, yeah. I love Davinci Resolve though. I'm not going to complain, but it's intense. So let's just get to it and say, I don't like how green this is here. Where are we at? Why am I still seeing some green? What's going on? Oh my God, I was on the wrong image. I don't like this green. And I think what I can do, my animator in me is like, come on, Rob, you can figure this out. And I just am stumbling over, keeping my mouth going while I'm thinking. So I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add a static keyframe. And then I'm going to go ahead and... Is the reason it's a problem is because I made it static? Regardless, I think I'm onto something here. By this point, we're ready to become green. So add a dynamic key. Let's just try a static keyframe. I see there's a difference now, dynamic versus static. And I wish I would have kept the color settings. But let's just test this real quick. I think this is looking okay. Let's do that and see if this transitions slowly or if it's fast. Yeah, static, static. So undo, undo, undo. Right click, dynamic keyframe. I really would love to know the numbers, but maybe that's what I need to do, is just let it naturally happen. A little more green. See how that looks. Let's just test the frickin' keyframe. Get on the right image. That seemed to happen over time. Yes, it's quick. Is it that quick? Yes, it is. Let's do this. Let's add a dynamic keyframe here. I'm kind of not sure what the hell. I'll have to learn what the difference is between, oh, look at that, 2 dynamic keyframes. And if we're in luck, we're going to start off grayish and we're going to slowly fade to the greenish. Think we found it. Do I like how that looks? Not certain. Let's just dock this so that we don't have any problems. I think I can push this way down. Nope. That's about as good as it gets. Well, just so that you can see when I go bigger. Let's hope this plays right. It seems to work. I gotta keep the green. You know, I was thinking I would do the color, the chroma key. I keep thinking about that, but I'm like, no, that's just more like I just had to figure out that keyframe thing. We're gonna do that with chroma keys. I haven't done that in Davinci Resolve, but like maybe once. And I don't feel like it's needed here. I think this is fine. Lean into that. And then the book starts coming in. Okay, so I think we're making some progress. What do we got? Now see, I'm going to end up going into the details of, I don't like this bird getting smacked in the face right here. So I need to shift this, extend that. Oh God, nope. I need to extend this whole thing and then shift this whole thing. I just fucked up all my timing. Let's see, yeah, he's gonna get smacked in the face, but there we go. It's at least less distracting. I don't know, that's that whole feel thing. There's something about that bird getting smacked with that. It just happens anyway, even after that. So since we screwed up the timing, let's just see if we can get it right. That's better. That's nice. Just less distracting to me. It would be cool if the blade wiped the bird on, like color, all of a sudden bird. That could be fun. But I can't say that I know how to do that. Even though it's probably not hard to learn. Just feel like I'm not going to do that since you're watching. I like where this is going. I like the fact that the skull is... I want it to fade out more by this point. So let's put a cross dissolve. And let's hope that we didn't just totally... Why is the... Oh, I think we're just seeing a preview. I didn't expect that to disappear like that. That was weird. Yeah, I just kind of want it to start fading out here. So whatever dynamic preview I had, whatever glitch was going on there, don't think is a problem. And fade away. I think it needed to happen even sooner. Alright, time to feel. So let's go to the bigger screen. I kind of wish I could make this bigger. You know what? I can make it bigger by hiding the timeline. Mixer. Meters. Ooh. Nope. Meters. That's all I got. I really just want this to work, but alright. Yep, you can see I've been working in this tool for what, 1.5 years now, and I'm like, we shouldn't even have any audio whatsoever here, so let's just freaking play this thing already. It's choppy. It's coming together though, and yeah, that skull is just... It's not around too long because the bird's just leaning into it, which is what I wanted. The bird leans in like, hey, skull. So let's change the timing of the bird again so that he does that before the skull goes away. He's leaning in right now. So I guess what I need to do is literally grab it here and say here. And then pull it in here. And say, I just totally screwed up the timing on that fan again. See? I can see that taking random, desperate videos and tying them into something cohesive is going to be time consuming. But if you love doing it, I mean, this is fun. I'm having a blast doing this. Are you having a blast watching? Leave me a comment and let me know. I'd love to know if you actually heard me say this or if I'm just doing this to talk out my ass and nobody listens. That's okay too. I'm doing this with or without you, so figured might as well do it with you. I don't mean to sound like a douche. That's just, you know what I mean. assume the best intentions for me always. I am not out to get anybody unless you fuck with me. So don't fuck with me. Seriously. Just being silly. Don't fuck with anybody. We don't need to fuck with each other. I am liking this. I think what I want to do is, we've seen it like 100 times, right? And we've been working on this for a little bit. I think the next step is to bring the lighting thing that I liked in with the skull. So let's do that next. Okie dokie. So we're going to focus on the bokeh style light here. That is there any kind of transition? Bokeh? I don't know how to spell bokeh. Well, clearly there's nothing bokeh. Alright, I'm looking to see if there's any effects that are bokeh related, and you know, I'm gonna worry too much about it, but I think what I'd like to do is have the skull. Yeah, I like how that's changing color, so that was nice. I know I could have done a chroma key on the green, but I don't hate this. It kind of makes the skull look like it's getting moldy over time, or it's becoming ominous and changing its reality, changing reality right in front of your eyes. Muhaha. I think I'm ready to fade those birds out by this point. And yeah, that was a fun little thing that I didn't expect, was that the composite color burn that I have, I'll have to keyframe them manually because the cross dissolve isn't doing it. So let's do cross dissolve here. Delete that. Save. Click the clip. Create a, let's see, the keyframe we're gonna wanna, yeah, we can just drop those here. So we'll create this keyframe here, and then we will go to the end and create another keyframe and fade it out completely. And now we should see they fade out right with the skull. I almost feel like they could be living in that background. We might bring them back. We'll see. Because I kind of don't hate how they're still in the sky, but do they still fit? Maybe. Something we might explore depending on how this goes. Watching the whole thing. Let's look at the keyframes, since they exist now. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start focusing on the book. I think we need to get rid of the bird next. So let's do another cross dissolve. I don't know, like I said, I'm probably not going to keep cross dissolves on all this. But it's time for the bird to get moving here pretty quick. Shortly after the skull is gone, the bird is stale. So, windmill, windmill, skull, windmill, windmill, bird. Bird leans into skull. Birds flying behind skull. Birds and skull fade out. And we transition to the book. But we want the bokeh off of the lighting here to do something fun. And the reason I wanted that was because I know this bee image has, so I'm going to actually pull this out a little bit farther so that we have time to make that transition here. Because as the skull disappears, we're going to bring in the bees. I need to bring this out so that we see more of it. And then I want to mess with the layout. Let's see here. I think I want to zoom in. And I want to know where that's... I was thinking that the sunshine would turn into this. The sunshine from the book being, it needs to be over a little. I'm not sure. I guess I could just flip the book. Would that do it? Yeah, that pretty much does the job. And then actually that means that I could take this bird and I don't have any keyframes going. I could zoom in on the bird and bring him down. Let's put the title thing on so we're keeping things where they need to be or important. Title guides? Is that what they call that? Come on. Viewer guides. If you're not familiar with it, it's important. Keep your text inside of that. I feel like the bird leans in. I feel like that. I'm just smacking him in the face again, though. Don't worry about the timing on that right now. He leans in. Yeah, I am going to worry about the timing on that. It's just obvious that as you tweak, things are just going... I'm not changing the time at all. But it's obvious. You just gotta constantly keep tweaking things. And the birdie shows up without a thing in his face. Smack. God dang it. If I keep my cursor here, will I get a feel for where that is so that I can pull this out so that when he comes in, that's going past his face? I think so. That should be good. So the blade goes past his face, and then there we go. That worked. Okay, cool. And I do want to cut those birds a little faster than that now, I think. Skull comes in, bird comes in, doesn't get smacked, leans into the skull. Here comes the book. The light's in the right place or not? Light. Need to zoom in a little more. And you need to move it over a little more. Nope, I can see. Let's see what happens. There's the light. See, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make it like the actual sunlight from the book is coming through the trees. So as the trees and the bird fade into their... Could we call this dimensional? Could we make this dimensional? Ooh, what if I did a different... What is that blur? There's a cool transition. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna find it. It is crash zoom. Can we make that look like you're going into another dimension? Whoa. Do we slow it down? Whoosh, that's not bad. I think I want it slower though. Alright, so we're rolling, we're leaning, we're glistening in the background. I saw something I don't like. The book flips too high. So let's go back to where the book is. Bring it down. I want to leave room for those bees. I don't know that I need to make this massive. Ooh, I should at least do 1 and push it to 0 just to give me back to the basic spot. All right, skull goes, light from the book transitions. I guess it's not that big of a deal. You know what's kind of ironic here is that trees become books, right? So are the pages, the leaves, in another time. No, because you don't make pages out of leaves, doof. But see where I'm going. My God. Seeing into my mind, it scares me. Alright. I keep focusing on this piece right here, literally. So everything else that I assume I've got right, I'm not even really watching. I'm going to take this off because it's distracting me. Let's take a look at the bigger version here and start over and hope that this thing plays smoothly. Okay, transition, I like that. Turns, yep, not bad. A little quick, I think. What do I want to do? That felt quick even though I stretched it out. Duration. Oh. I didn't know you could, like, do that here. I've always done it here. Oh, so you can just set it back to default. That's cool. With this alignment thing. What was that? Oh, it aligns it on this. Oh, cool. Man, see? Learning some shit. So there's no settings for crash zoom that I can see unless you go to Fusion. Yeah, that's where it is. I'm good. We'll stay out of that. You watch my other Fusion tutorial. It's an actual, I don't know, lessons learned. I go through a lot of stuff. Man, Fusion's complicated, but it's fun. I kind of dislike the way the zoom grows. Do I? I can't believe that windmill's still going back here. It should be gone by now. Leave my cursor there so that I can see it disappear. That's good enough. Windmill, birdie, skull, transition, birdie. Feels very disconnected now. Does it? Or is it coming together? Gotta watch it a few times. The birds. Man, I keep shortening this stuff up. This is getting shorter and shorter. This video is not going to be but a few seconds long. We're not going to be able to make music for it. Okay, I think as long as I what do I want to do? I want the bird to fade out here a little quicker, but maybe not. I don't know. I guess I should just keep it and see how it goes. I wanted to add different transitions, but I really wanted something bokeh-like. I think what I need to do is like literally fade this out. That's what I need to do. I'm going to click this, hit video. Where's opacity on the dynamic zoom? We got the dynamic zoom going, and okay, well here's the, I can just use the opacity here. So let's just set a keyframe and then go to the end, go to where I want it to be. I think I want it to be gone pretty quickly, like right about here. So set another keyframe and dunk. That feels quick though. Bird comes on, bird leans into skull, bird zooms out, and he's gone. I guess that's pretty clean. I get that zoom effect even though I barely even get halfway through the crash zoom. It pulls quicker, so I don't hate it. But what I do hate is the fact that my book is literally hanging halfway off the screen. That sucks. Guess I need to zoom back in. No, I don't want to mess with my lighting too much. Did that really matter? Or was that just me being particular? I think I like that. I feel like I need to add some kind of film grain and everything to all of this. It's still not grungy enough. But that's what I'm looking for, is to learn how to do that. So we'll worry about that once we get our timing done. I hope that doesn't screw me. Oh yeah, I can't tell you how many times I have done a thing and had to do it completely over because I realized, oh, I am just sick of that bird being on top of that other bird's head. I want them gone by then. I almost want them gone. Yeesh. It's like the birds ended up showing up faster. What happened? Did I screw something up? Or did I just not pay attention to the fact that the birds were lingering around as much as they are? Because I really want them gone by now. So I like that they show up over the skull. Because, I mean, they're here. And then as they're still there when the windmill's gone. That's the piece that I liked. You know, I bet my keyframes are not coming along with me. That's probably what it is. So let's do it this way. Because I want them to fade out as the skull is in its next transition. And it, god dang it, I swear. This is something I need to pay attention to. I see the keyframes right here. Can I use like Alt or something to zoom in? No, that doesn't help me much, does it? Can't use, I'm trying to figure out how to even see this whole thing. Oh, for crying out loud. That's not really what I wanted. Opacity. Can't fold this down. I haven't gotten familiar with this new interface yet, and it's not exactly detail zoom. Okay. So it's clear to me that the zoom can be keyframed, and I just need to move them because I'm sick of whatever's going on here. I think I need to, I guess I had an animation there with the composite. Can I select all of them, please? Thank you. And now I want to have them go away by now, so that that bird is not on top of that other bird's face. Come on. There we go. And we'll just drag you on over to where you're gone by that point. I hope it sticks around long enough, though. Nope. Damn it. Sometimes I get caught up on these details that really are they important. I need to just stop worrying about it and move on to the book. So, what I'm going to do is Control Z a couple times to get me back to where I was. I'll worry about this later. I need to move on. Watch it again, Sam. Here we go. Timing feels good there. I think the timing's fine there. I think this is nice. It's kind of a flickery effect that I think what I want to do is move the book down a smudge. a smidgen. Move the book a smidgen. Yeah, seems good. So this specific transition kind of comes in with the book. Their skull is definitely gone by the time the book comes in, right? Like it barely starts to transition. Do I need to worry about that at all? I think that's good enough for now. Maybe what I'll do is drag the book out a little, the book fading in a little bit more, just to give the skull a little bit more time as the transitions to the beach. Can I ease out? No, let's ease in. We're going to ease in on that one so that we kind of slowly transition to the book. Is that right? Let me go back to out just to make sure. As many years as I've been animating, you'd think I'd know the difference here. It's about how it feels. I think that works, I guess. What if we do an in and out? Because then that way we're sort of like creating sort of a feel of something's transitioning, but you can't, then it happens quickly. There we go. I think that's better. Just watch that piece again. Boom, boom, boom. I'm still so bothered by those birds, I can't see anything else. And the glisten, okay, I think that's okay. I don't know. Let's bring the bees in now. And I think what I need to do is flip the bees. I was thinking about having them go backwards. But for now, let's just flip their orientation. Because when I watched it in my first video, there was a bee that was crawling on the side of the book. And I was like, for some reason, just loving that. And now that is definitely not the case. Can I adjust this mask so that the bees, they're kind of like in the shadows right now? Does this go any farther? I don't know how long we're going to want this. But the bees are in the shadows, and I was kind of having them in the book. So let's just zoom in a little bit. I like that bee right there, and I want them to come down a little more. Or do I bring this one up? Nope. I think we're going to put this one right on the book. And I think what we're going to do is go into the color thing on this. This is the B one, right? And this is where I might be messing with this mask some more. Do I need to worry about anything beyond this quick little trick that I learned in the last session? Let's just see. There's something funky about those bees. Why do I love that? I like weird shit. I think I need a transition. I don't want to do the crash zoom again. I want to do just a normal fade. I'm not even sure I'm going to keep the this crash zoom of the bird. I mean, it kind of works, I guess. It does give a little more movement. I'm not going to bother adding movement to the book because I'm going to have to add movement to the bees to match if I do. And I don't know that I want to. It's like the bees are heading into a new dimension as they work their way into the book. They're becoming part of the story. As I said before, I kind of love that, which is weird that I do. I don't quite get it. I'm watching all of this stuff here to see if I love what they're doing here. I'm watching this to make sure nothing funky happens to where it's too distracting or annoying. I think what I need to do is trim this so that bee that's up in the corner here, Zooby-Dooby's butt hanging out right there, I think we're going to trim this video so he sort of disappears as this shadow kind of becomes part of the ground. I think we're going to trim it to that starting there. And when do we have the bees come in? What happens if the bees come in over the skull? Could we do that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's kind of freaking weird. I didn't expect this. I don't experience ASMR, but I definitely find things oddly satisfying, and this is one of them, where all of a sudden the bees are like in the skull's mouth. I almost want that to happen like sooner than later. Nope, that's not gonna work. But maybe sometime about the time that windmill goes away, we can start kicking it in, which is exactly where we were. So maybe I just kind of drag them out a little bit. My mouse just did something funky. I don't know, maybe this $13 mouse after 2 years is met its match. It's such a cool mouse though. It's got cool LEDs on it. Yes, I love that. I love the fact that it is like literally, I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Let's see how this goes. See if we can get a smooth enough preview. Yeah. Okay, I kind of like that. It's like the bees are all of a sudden like, hey bro, I'm up in your nose. I'm in your nose. Now I'm in the book. I need to do something better with the skull transition here, but this is silly and working at the same time. We may be almost done. Maybe we'll see if we can add some stylish effects to it to take it up a notch. This preview is just too jankety when I'm in the OBS recording mode, and I just gotta stick with this, I guess. Maybe I'll publish it so I can see it. But we'll take a break here in a second, which you won't even notice. But you can pause anytime. I mean, I'm kind of liking that. Oh yeah, I forgot. One of the things I wanted to do, we don't need, maybe we don't. I don't need that audio file attached to this thing, so unlink the clips, get rid of this, and bring this over. I have an idea. We'll maybe muck with these. We'll put them in the area so we don't forget about them. But what happens if I'm thinking, and I'm not talking, I'm thinking that if I have these clouds, which you can see here, like with the birds, it's fun because it's some reason it's like this is a time-lapse video of clouds and the birds are just flying naturally. That's one hell of a storm coming in. I mean, shit. But man, where did my brain go? I think I just paused questioning whether or not I should have said shit. Sorry about that. Here we go. Bees in the face. Yes, I can see it happening already just with this layered look. Yes, yes, yes. This has got to happen. So we're adding a track here. I was wondering last night when I was watching this, going, can you make the clouds the sky for the book? Well, Sonny, I just might be able to do that. But it's coming through very... I don't want the clouds in this one to conflict with the clouds here. Those can start at any time now, I guess. Once that windmill's gone, they can start. But I also know that they get better farther in, so see where the clouds... They're a little rougher back in here somewhere. Oops. Yeah, because then it's more of a, there's some sky light in there. Here, let's look at this. Oh, dear Lord. I don't think I want them birdies. I'll bring them back if I need them. Yeah, there's a brightness right here that I think I want. We'll just try and leverage it here. So let's bring this up to that point so that it's part of the transition. And so when we slide this over here and we watch the book come in, we start to see the clouds. You still see the birds and you see the clouds. You see the bees. The birds and the bees, man. I swear to God, I'm going to call this the birds and the bees title sequence. And then that's where we have, do we have enough light in that area? Not really. Let's slide this back until we do. It's almost like it's got to be, it's right there. So, yeah, there's the, just trying to get the lightness of the sky to align with the bokeh and the skull and the brightness that's coming in from the book. So then when we transition to this, all of that just to see if now we can composite this book to get the sky to show up. I never know which one of these is going to work. There's probably some mathematical malarkey behind all this and how it works, but I always go by checking each one out and oftentimes finding it ain't worth it. Multiply, overlay. It may not be worth doing. This is one of those experiments. Yeah, see, I went through all those and I didn't really like it. What happens if I just do overlay? No, I don't like it. However, what I could do is let's just put this back to normal. Yeah, see, I'm thinking that I'm probably not going to muck with the lights or the clouds in the background unless I put them above. I can't remember if I can drag these. There might be a way to do it, but I don't remember how, and I, for some reason, thought I did it once and was never able to do it again. So let's just add another track and then bring this up just to see if we can add a composite to the clouds to make them do anything cool. It's most likely going to be a no. Yeah, it's all looking like total garbage. I don't like garbage. I generate plenty of garbage, though. You'd think I'd like it. But I like to keep it clean. Screen? Is that? Nope. The soft light wasn't. Nah. What happens if I move the video up? Like, what if I do? There's a building under there. I could put a mask on that sky so you can't see that building. Is that going to give you enough of anything? Can we put the light down in where the light was? I just have a feeling the clouds are going to fuck with the lighting, which I didn't want. I mean, as long as they... That's funky looking. The weirdness that just happened there, I guess it's affecting everything below, and the birds are still below. I guess that makes sense. I mean, Sure, I'll have to fix that, but pay attention. It moves with the clouds. That's kind of nice. Yeah, but why would the light move with the cloud? I gotta have the light here. I almost want the light here. I don't know if I just did that wrong. I don't know. Not feeling like I need the clouds. I mean, that's 3 things happening all at once. The book's kind of losing its something. It's losing something. Let's go in and put a mask thing on here real quick and see. I've already got... I'm on the birdie image. Let's go to the cloud image. And hide the clips. I said hide... I'd say hide the galleries. We want the clips. We want to see we're on the cloud. And then we're going to add a node serial. I like serial. Then we're going to have alpha, and we're going to drag this here. I've done this enough times I know how to do it quickly. So this is a cool lesson to learn out of however many hours I've been doing this. I can see I'm using that a lot. Bring in this mask here, use the gradient, and flip that fucker because we want it to be up. Nope. Flipped it the wrong way, bub. Flip it this way. And see if we can tighten up things so that the book can have its space with the clouds. I don't know. I'm just trying it out, seeing how it looks, see if it looks like complete trash or not. Having the clouds above the book is, like, in front of the page is kind of lame. But let's just see what it's doing. Getting rid of those birds eventually if we keep these clouds. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's overkill. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the KISS method. And clouds just seem to be a neat idea, but it doesn't flow. There may be a better way to do it, but I'm just going to go ahead and call it and delete that track since that's exactly what that was for. I think I can delete. Is that seriously all I got? This is like a 10-second segment. This is going to be fun to make music to. Wonder if I should make it longer. Bees coming in, and then the book. Yeah, I think I can delete this because we're good. Nothing's on here. Delete track. Let's watch it through one more time, and then I'm going to publish it, and then we'll take a look and see how it looks full screen, because I have a feeling there's going to be some things I want to tweak. I'm not hating it. I kind of like how things are just transitioning, and this is sort of the end of it. I don't know. I guess that's what we got to figure out is what story are we telling, or does it even matter? Because do I want to add text to this? I think I like having this on for a little bit as you watch the these bees coming together. It almost looks like 2 bees coming together and crashing. Boom! They seriously crash. Am I just now noticing that? That's hilarious. Poor bees. We had a mid-air collision right there, for crying out loud. I need to... Okay, we're going to take a second and fuck with that mask just to see if that's really what's happening. Nope. Don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. They're blurry. Oh. What's going on there? I want to see him crash. That's sad. But totally crashed. Oh my god, the bees are crashing. Okay. I'm going to take a second and go back to this video and see this for real. We're watching. They're fuzzy. Boom! I can't believe they crash. I've never seen bees crash, and I've stood this close to beehives many times because I am enamored by bees. I love bees. Seeing this collision is just terrible, but I'm like totally loving it. Spacebar does not stop the video. Okay. Well, that was fun. Sorry, little guys. They're probably long gone by now. I'm trying to save this page. Give me a second here. For some reason, I hit Control S. It's just such a habit. Moving on. Oh my god, I cannot believe that they crash. I think that's where we are. Jeez. I get distracted. Okay, that's what ADHD does for you. You're like, hey, check that out. What were we doing? Okay, so right here, the bees crash. The bees are getting in the book. I just kind of like where this is going. I want to add a grungier look to it, but I'm going to pause this and save everything. And this is a good time to take a break. Pause the video if you're going to come back and watch the rest of this. We'll see if we can make it a little more grungy and tighten this up. What do we got? A whole 13-second thing, and I'm wondering, do I add some text? Do I add some grunginess? Do I make it what else can I do with this? What story is this telling? All I know is we got birds and bees, so that's what this is so far to me. Interdimensional portals with birds and bees as they crawl through the portal here. All right, back in 2 and 2. Okay, we've been at this a while, and I've gone ahead and exported the big version, just the full-size version, so we can see how this looks. This isn't too bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but this has been great practice and a good sense for what it takes to kind of... Why do I keep pausing it? A good sense for what it takes to, edit video sequences like this. I've got lots of plans for some really cool stuff in the future, and this is just sort of an initial basic test run. And I'm learning a lot. I'm learning that I gotta kind of... Details really matter, because I'm seeing things like the damn birds didn't fade away like I wanted them to, and there's just some things that if I were going to hand it off to a client, I wouldn't allow. So it's like I'm just going to clean up some more stuff here, and I really want to get a grungy look, but I thought I'd show you how things are looking in the full size with what we've got so far. I don't hate it. We're close. So let us... I just love that these bees smack into each other. Did I seriously make that go away? I kind of want to keep that. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of research and see if I can find some way to make a grungier look over this whole thing, and then we'll go through doing that. So consider this another pause break. Okay, I did a little bit of digging, and I found that you can even just use a vintage texture from directly in Davinci Resolve, so I figured I might try that. And other than that, a few other videos were showing using just an image overlay. Let's just put this over here and see how this looks. Ooh, super cool. Need to go to video. Oh, seriously, am I not going to be able to composite this? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can composite this by saying, I think, since there's a lot of black in it, let's try screen and see how it works. I don't really like that much. I mean, it does add a little more graininess to the whole thing, but I don't like how it jumps. I know that there are jumpy settings that you can apply, so let's take this off so we can look directly at this thing. Another thing I had was I just went to Pixabay and downloaded another film overlay, texture angle. Let's just change the texture angle just a smudge because I don't like it completely vertical. But I also don't like it as jumpy, and you can apparently flicker smooth this out. That doesn't seem smooth. I do not really like the flicker, to be honest. Flicker minimum. Flicker maximum. Maybe we can bring the flicker down and the maximum up. I don't know. Is that going to just be off on the corner there? I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let's try add since it does something here. I don't mind it here. It's looking good. But I'm also just seeing it in that corner because that angle, I guess. Dark texture, I could switch it. Let's keep it dark for now. Let's flip it. Let's just go maximum. See if we can move this. I don't really know what this smooth is going to do. I guess we'll just see. I'm not such a fan of the fact that it jumps all over the place. I mean, it just adds too much movement to something that's already there. So I think I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my media pool and import that video that I had. Video, my color grading practice, and my film overlay. And let's just bring it in here and see. I feel like this is going to be cheesy. What did add do? I do not want color. That was an accident. Color burn. Color dodge. It's intense. I think we're going to end up with screen. I always find that anything with a black background works well with screen. Overlay is not working at all. Yeah. I mean, it's just too gnarly. It's cheap, clearly. I mean, no offense to anybody making this shit. They're sharing it for free, so what do you expect? But, I don't like that. Honestly, wonder if we can. Yeah, I'm wanting to add this texture, but this is too much. I like the in fact, I'm just going to take this out, remove selected clip. I don't even want that in my library anymore. There is this what's this textured background? Starfield. That's just too neato. I'm tempted to go into Fusion to see if I can clean up this animation a little, because it's super freaking jumpy. Like, switch. I want that to be cleaner. Portrait, what are we doing here? Am I seriously going into Fusion? I said I wasn't going to do that. Transform. Yeah, there's an animation going on here, I think. Can we just take that out? Okay, well, there's the ticket right there. Is if we look at the keyframes, where did they put the keyframes in Fusion? I think they moved them. Here they are. And I need to like zoom in, and this is what I'm seeing here. This is just burr, 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 burr. Not loving that. Loader, transform. Is this just repeating itself? Yeah, I think so. So let's zoom in on this. It's been a while. I haven't been in Fusion much since my last video, so I'm a little rusty already. And I think I just want to... I like the look of this, and I don't mean to spend too much time on this. This is not my intention. Oh my god. This is probably why you're watching this, because you want to see me struggle through these things only so that you can see other people go through what you go through, right? It's not a matter like you're trying to watch me suffer here. One of the things is I'm having a hard time seeing. It's tiny. Not to mention they changed all the keyframes here, how this stuff works. So I think that what I want to do... Isn't there a tween splines? That's what I'm looking for. Not even keyframes. I forget that... let's see, how do we get to it? Shut all these down. Is there a way to get to the splines? I think it was like Control S or, well, that's save, dumbass. Yeah, anyway, I'm trying to figure out if I can switch, transform. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I don't like this jitter thing here, and I just want it to be a linear thing. What's with the lock? Can I unisolate it? What is the deal with the lock? You know what I can do? It's just frickin' delete all this shit. So go to the keyframes. Delete. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm gonna... You can hear my brain and my mouth aren't working. I am going to seriously lose my shit over the fact I can't just delete a damn keyframe. So I'm going to do this the way I know how to do it, and it's getting really frustrating because I like this texture. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this and then add another node. I think it's Shift Space and then Transform. And I think it's this one that we'll want, and say Add. There we go. And then when we watch this, what happens? It just kind of gloms onto like whatever position it's on. So let's just honestly, let's just leave that like that for now and come in here and say I want to go back to my settings and go back to screen, because I know screen is gonna give me that look that I'm after. Is it there anymore? Is it even there? I see it barely, but it's not coming out too obvious, and because it's not moving. Flicker, minimum, maximum. So they had properties connected to all this shit. That's probably what was going on. So I think what I'm just going to do is kind of add the texture to the whole thing based on that, but screen isn't not working on any other screen. Huh. Strange. Does it still work here? Oh gosh, I gotta go. Let's look at the whole fucking video here. There we go. Out to the end. I just don't know that this is adding enough. But it's adding a little bit of dirt, which is fine, which is really all I wanted. You know what I'm thinking I'm going to do? I'm going to go to a different route, which is effects and boom boom. It's the freaking camera. Here it is, CCTV. I could go comic book. Oh yeah, like check out my bird in a comic book. Yeah, I mean that's actually pretty slick. But what I want is a CCTV. This is more of the texture that I wanted. I thought, oh, but I gotta add it to the damn video. Oh yeah, forgot all about that. So I think what I need to do, let's get creative here, Rob. We need a generator. We need a color. I think a grayscale, maybe. Is there a gradient generator? Not really seeing anything too cool in there. There's a honeycomb. I like honeycombs. Anything like this, I love hexagons. You will definitely see a lot of that in stuff that's coming up because I'm drawn to them for some reason. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put a solid color down and then go across the whole freaking thing till I hit the end. Where's the end? Go all the way out. Oh yeah, duh. Here's the end of my video here. So we'll just extend it out to there. And this is where I'm going to add my CCTV effect. So the color is black. And we may want to change that. But I'm going to use screen, so maybe not. CCTV, add this. Oh. Well, I guess you learned some things. So that's interesting. I guess I didn't realize that the effects really only work on video. So if I want to add CCTV to the windmill, I got to drag it to this. Versus if I want to create a fusion composition. Oh, there's the adjustment clip. I forgot about that. First of all, can I even take CCTV and put it on here? I can. Oh, well that would have been easy enough. Okay, let's try it. So the CCTV thing I like because why do I like it? Go to effects, go to CCTV, go to text controls. We can just clear out all this text because I don't want any of it. All of this goes away. Then now we're left with the lines, and we can change the sizing. That's all text settings here. Hang on. Text controls. Scan lines. Here we go. We don't need the record light on. We'll do the scan lines. Too big. Scan line angle, kind of maybe. Saturation, not really helping any. Noise size. Not really helping any. Noise strength. Not doing much. And then blur size. I guess that's where we gotta be careful because we get too much. I want it to be blurrier, but scan lines need to be. So maybe this isn't exactly what I'm looking for, but I think we need to layer some textures here, if I'm going to be honest. I think that this kind of adds something. Sure, it just gives us a hint. What does this say? No frame available on media out. Oh. It's because I'm using a fusion clip. And I didn't do anything to it. So, digital glitch. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. Let's see what the adjustment clip does. Now I thought you can add like things like this to it. Yeah. And what happens if I go to screen? Let's just test this. It's not quite what I was looking for. I want something a little heavier. But I also want to be careful. How does this look throughout the whole thing? Does it really make that much difference on the adjustment clip? It seems to. It actually looks better. Isn't there a film grain effect? Well, I mean, that's the one that I was trying to use, I thought, and it was just kind of funky, the generator. The vintage texture. There's film grain on the color thing, that's what it is. Maybe I can use the adjustment clip to add a film grain. Let's see, what effects? Filters? Oh, okay. Let's disable this one for now and see. You know what? Never mind. Let's go ahead and take this effect off. I think this might work with this adjustment clip. It's doing something though to my. It's because it's in screen mode, yeah. Duh. What do you expect there, bro? Let's try overlay. God. That's not gonna work. Oh, seriously? Did it make it to where I couldn't even see my birds? No, I can. They've become hidden. I'm not sure. Let's see. Camera shake I don't like. Film grain. That's a Davinci Resolve thing. So gotta buy a studio for that. Film look creator. Gotta buy a studio for that. Alright. So I think I'm gonna be doing a little searching for some better stock film grain kind of scenarios, because I'm not sure I like the way this is going. Sure, I can use one of these, but I think I kind of like the CCTV the best so far. I don't know. I'm going to pause here just a second, and then I'll come back with something a little more solid. I think I'm going to look for a couple more stock footage videos. Okay, so I did just go ahead and keep the CCTV because I did a couple more adjustments with this little, and I seem to like it better. It's giving me more of that grainy look that I was after. I just really had to get the settings right. And this is what I have, so you can see what's going on here. And it's more of a grainy feel like you see here, which is kind of what I wanted, I guess. I do still want to do a little more grunginess maybe, but I guess overkill, you know. It's kind of like you do too many things get pukey. Too many colors makes brown. Let's try playing with opacity a little bit so we can keep the graininess and make it less of less of effect on our on the coloring that we've done. It's there. It's very subtle, which is what I wanted. So I think I like that. I think I'm going to just keep that rather than muck around too much. I mean, I have a feeling if I go with a different composite method, I don't know what the hell you call this, that things are going to get weird, and I don't want to mess with too much. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it screen, because essentially what we have is an adjustment clip with this CCTV on it. That's where we landed. So, and it just adds that the CCTV settings are set with no text and very subtle texture. So it just adds a little edge. Now I'm going to say this again. I'm flipping losing my shit over these damn birds, and I got to fix this, because here's what keeps happening. Every time I make an adjustment to this, the dang things no longer fade out. They fade out here. Nope, see, I'm just so frustrated with that. So anyway, let's try and clean that up right now. I think I'm okay with the graininess. It gives it that little extra oomph, and I think I'm just going to keep moving on just to get the ball rolling. This isn't like a masterpiece or nothing, but we're learning. So anyway, we're transitioning to the skull. This is just garbage right here. And why is that happening? Because I just added the seriously, is that this clip that I just added? It is. Well, poo. That's frustrating. And look at that. Somewhere along the lines I lost track of the my timing feels all screwed up here. That's frustrating. Welcome to the reality, man. Because this gets dark before the bird comes in. I got the bird going right after the thing here, but something was not right. Is that seriously what I had going? Hang on, I got the video. This is the full video so far. I must have screwed up something, because I don't see that. That's a subtle transition here. We're not going to... The bird comes in. So I guess it's just the timing. So whereas it's probably me messing with this to where this is where the bird's got to come in now. And I'm sure I was messing with it to get the bird to lean into that skull. So, and then we'll put that mouse right there. Is that what caused it? No, that's good enough. Bees coming in, and something ain't right. Ugh, this is frustrating. Do you ever hate being in the middle of working on something and you feel like you broke something when you thought you had it all done up? And then, oh yeah, because I remember what happened here. Yeah, I forgot when I wasn't recording. I noticed that one of my videos wasn't at the very beginning, and it was the windmill, so now that just screwed everything up, and all I really needed to do was pull the windmill back out. But that did mess with my timing, so I was hitting the beak again. So these little details are so important to me because they make all the difference. For example, like I want that windmill just a tiny bit past that bird's nose before a bird shows up. So I keep focusing on these tiny things. Then that just totally backfired on me. Because it was better off here. I don't know that I need to worry about it. But here's what's funky is the birds are swarming around, and for some reason they just kind of drop out of the sky right over here. I don't quite understand why that's happening. I guess that's the end of that transition. So does that really matter to me? I need to make a decision. I know that when I want the birds to... Let's just play it and feel it out. It's just got to be what it is. This is just where things... Okay. Like... Now all of a sudden the bird's dropping off like freaking fast as hell. What the fuck? Okay, I'm moving. This isn't doing anything because it's disabled right now. So what the hell's going on? Huh. I'm going to completely... What's that about? Huh. I have flat out broken something, or something's weird. And I gotta figure this out. So I guess this is... Congratulations, we're suffering through this together, I guess. Is it really this underlying image here that's causing the problem? Oh my gosh, this is getting frustrating. I am not sure what's happening here. Why did my bird all of a sudden just start going away? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna back it on up till I see something. I'm just gonna keep doing Control Z because I'm kind of pissed off. I don't know how many times Davinci Resolve will let me have that, but we will come, or went to the Fusion clip. I'm still doing Control Z, Control Z. We had the solid color, vintage texture. Yeah, we're backing out of all this. I'm so glad that it's working so far. Changing the settings on that vintage texture. Continuing to Control Z more. This is unfortunate. I'm not happy about this, but I can't explain what's going on. Okay, we deleted that layer. How's it looking now? Timing's right. Bird drops off. Seriously. It's that zoom thing. And now I probably just fucked up my... Yeah. It's probably that crash zoom, because all of a sudden that just took a fart, and as soon as we hit that border, you know, that transition is the word I'm looking for, it started acting funky. So let's go back to crash zoom. Here it is. Drop it in, drag it out. Oh yeah, I know what was going on. It's those damn keyframes I had. And that's exactly something that I'm finding that I don't understand about Davinci Resolve, which is I've got keyframes in here, like here, and then when I shorten this clip, it does something to them. I don't know. Well, I gotta figure that out, because it's like they don't seem to disappear. But here we go. Now we're back. So whatever was going on, I'd added an additional fade to kind of get the bird to go away quicker, and I think I don't really need that, because all that did was make things jump after I made an adjustment. Wow, this is, I think we're probably over an hour by now, easy. I've lost track of time. That means I'm in the zone, and that's not a bad thing. We're at least smooth again. And honestly, I think I'm just going to leave that. Okay, since we fixed that, let's go ahead and add our layer back in. This is part of the process, man. I don't know. You get something you think is cool, and then you fuck it all up, and then you got to go back and do it all over again. So effects, it was CCTV. Here we go. I really hope that I can remember. Oh, yeah, I need to get the generator. Nope. Effects, adjustment clip. And the adjustment clip apparently just is meant for this. I do kind of remember hearing about that a long time ago. I've just never used it. So I'll go ahead and save this. It shouldn't do anything as far as I know until I put something on top of it, because it's designed to allow you to put things like this on it. And the CCTV's got the black and white effect to it, which I could probably adjust in Fusion if I didn't want that. But I think the whole point was that the texture is important to have. Where am I going? Let's see, I'm here. I need to be on video, I need to be on composite, and I need to go down to screen. Multiply is not it, screen. And then I need to go back to the effect, and I need to fuck with my scan lines again. Blur size maybe. Ew. Okay. The noise strength and the scan lines being smaller, I think. Smaller. Not that small. Just a little bit. Just barely anything. Yeah, that's not horrible. Oh my gosh, I had my video all pinched up. I couldn't even see the whole thing, and I didn't even know it. So let's go back to the text controls. Get these out of here. See, we're just redoing things just because I screwed up somewhere, and I wanted to get back to baseline. And I don't know. That's what these raw videos are about, is showing these kind of fuck-ups, I guess. So hopefully that's encouraging. I don't know. I think the other thing I want to do is add an overlay, or I'm sorry, I don't need this to be quite as, there we go. I like the original color, so I want more of it. It really fucks with the rest of it though, doesn't it? That's unfortunate. You know, making me wonder. I wish I could apply the CCTV footage to each and every one of the clips. Because now I've kind of, do I hate how this, I don't hate it. Those birds seem super fake. More fake now than ever though. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just need to go even more subtle. Yeah, I think that might be what I do. What happens if I take this away? It's just enough. Probably just gonna leave it there just because I don't want to keep dragging this on. And that cross dissolve for some reason is like, why are those birds still in there? I mean, I want them. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Am I going to do this? Interesting. Did I see 2 windmills? I saw double blades here. Must have just been the preview struggling. I don't like how they exist behind this crow fading in. And I don't know what to do about it. What happens if I take this off? Well, what's going to happen is the damn... I know what'll happen. Bird. And... bird. Undo it. I think that's where I need to learn how to do animation of masks, because then I would like mask that bird in here. But I want to make sure, yeah, they're just more obvious with this. I don't think this is worth it, so bye-bye. We're going to make an executive decision yet again and say we've just wasted all of our time only to land where we were. I'm kind of frustrated about that, but at the same time, it's just a huge waste of all this work we've already done, and I guess film grain is something that Davinci Resolve offers, but you have to go pay for it, and not there yet. It's still not solving my problem though, but it's clear to me that things just aren't as awesome as I wanted them to be, and I'm kind of trying to figure out how to manage that. So yeah, welcome to this process, and sometimes you just gotta call it good enough, and this might be it. So if I completely wasted all my time, I might just delete this section altogether. I don't know. I'll edit it a little bit and see, try and make this a little engaging somewhat. But right now it's boring as hell. I'm getting bored. It's time for me to move on. I just want this to work. So I'll be back. Okay, just to give you an idea of what I'm planning now is I've got everything cleaned up to where it's nice and smooth now, and I'm thinking about adding some text. And I was looking at this digital glitch, which is gonna show up pretty rough in this preview probably when I'm recording, because my computer actually does a better job of digital glitch when it's rendered. But I think I'm ready to add some text, so I think that's just going to make this a title sequence, so we're going to add that now. So we will say the large text is going to be Tech-Multiverse. I mean, for crying out loud, we got to advertise, right? If it's not obvious, I've done a lot of marketing type stuff. I used to do freelance animation, and the main thing I did was make animated commercials. What am I doing? Creative. I can't talk. Created. Let's say produced by. I kind of want it to be lowercase. Yeah, I kind of like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to put some fake text in here just to... You can hear my brain working when my mouth shuts up. It's pretty freaking obvious. It's time to do... Oh, man, I'm going to move it to the left, and I think what I need to do is have the lower third version. Poop. So I'm looking at my titles and my favorites because I do love the digital glitch. I don't use it enough because I said right side again? Lower third, bro. There we go. Ooh, it kind of comes in different. I don't like it as much as the right side. Yeah, I like the right side better. Damn it. Control Z, Control Z. Did I seriously? There we go. I think there's a way to do the text alignment. That was my whole point in doing all this bitching that I was doing just a second ago. Settings. Nope. It's got to be in text. And I think it needs to be under... Oh no, this is the worst. Right. And then I haven't figured all these settings out yet. It's just not going to work. You know what? Screw it. You're going to watch me accept the fact that this is... I don't think the center one's going to give me anything better. See, this is the one that struggles. Like, literally, I'm hitting play and it just could not do it. My computer struggles with that one. I like the right side. It's interesting how that particular effect is very... I don't know what it is. I don't know what your words to use. It's harder than I thought. Talking and thinking. I think this seems like the best place. Nope. I just feel like there's something wrong with that. It needs to be in here. Why? Because my gut tells me so. We need the title stuff on because we gotta stay in that. And I think that if we were to roll this, yeah, it's gonna go through it, which is fine. Alright. Produced by Tech-Multiverse. It's too long. I think this is one of those that will... And then we'll... I don't know. Is this any good? Or is this complete garbage? What else would I say? What do we want to call it? I guess we're just going to be funny and put the center digital glitch up here and say... the birds. I don't know. Something about this feels stupid. And the bees. It just feels so stupid to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway just to see what happens. Oh my god. This is ridiculously stupid. That glitch thing really... The birds and the bees needs to show up right here. Because that's the longest scene and it needs to be... That's the stupidest title I've ever fucking heard. It just kind of felt funny to do it that way. I don't know what to call it. Let's just do sequence. I feel stupid. But whatever. Vulnerability. Is the name of the game, right? Be vulnerable. There we go, title sequence. Hopefully I spelled that right. Now, this needs to go up. And then we'll look at colors. We're testing the shit out of this thing. Skulls and text and birdies and bees and title sequence. Ooh, super creepy. Oh, I needed to keep it out longer. I guess I can't. I didn't notice that my bees video was way down there. So I'll do this. And I think I'm going to fade to black because... Oh my god, it's not going to let me. There's something about one of these glitch texts, and this might be it, where it ends where it wants to. I have the timeline having it end right there. Fuck. That's so frustrating. Ugh. Well, you know, if I were into trying to fix shit, I'd probably go into Fusion. If this was a client, I'd be in Fusion making my own little freaking custom animation to make all this stuff right. But this is just me practicing title sequences, so what's the value in spending another couple hours? I mean, we're already like 2 hours into this thing, I think. For 10 seconds worth of footage? Yes, that's the reality. You want it to look good. You spend some time on it. I'm going to go ahead and do the right side glitch again because it just looks better. And it'll fade away. And then we can fade to black. So let's just do that. We're going to call it, get this out of the way because I don't like that in my face. Sequence. Title. Neat. Position it. Settings. We're going to go up and over. It would be awesome if, I mean, the whole thing's animated already pretty much. I don't need to seriously? You know, I'm gonna cry. That's where I'm at. I'm so fucking annoyed right now by the fact that this center one, because it's the one I want. What happens if I put it on here and leave it as it is without doing anything? Does it animate appropriately, or does it like come off the screen whenever the hell it wants to? Yeah, it comes off the screen whenever the hell it wants to. That does not make me happy. It should fade away when I want it to, not when it wants to. That's just a... Okay, so whatever. It finally fades away right about the time I want it to. Right there, so I guess we'll just push it a little farther over. Yeah. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. This is funky. Check this out. The end of the film is here, and our text animation is gonna drag on. It seems. Yeah, because I want it to fade to black there, so video transition, cross dissolve right there, and cross dissolve right there, so that we're fading out right here. And so the glitch text needs to be gone before we fade out. And I wanted that subtle animation in the middle of the text. That's the whole point. God, I hope this renders the way I'm seeing it. I will let you know if it doesn't. large text, small text. I don't want double space or 2 lines. I do want it to be up higher though, so I gotta move it. Move it on the Y. And color. Now we can go back to color. White seems appropriate here. I think I'm gonna leave white for both cases because high contrast on text is critical. I know having some color would probably be nice, but we need to have it clear. And I'm just gonna flip my shit about the fact that I want to be able to control the timing of this more. Okay, it worked. That's good enough. Let's export this bitch and see what happens. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this export job 2, which is where I had exported the title sequence. Ooh. I just hit the wrong button on my keyboard and thought I deleted some files, so I got scared. We're going to click this, we're going to render 1, and we're going to render this job. I'm going to let it go. It's not going to take very long here. Well, I'll just render it live. Why not? You've been with me this long, might as well. This is the reality of this stuff. If you've never done it, it takes time. Don't say you'll do this kind of thing for like cheap, because, man, this is just me fucking around and it's taken forever. So save. Thanks for hanging with me on this. Let's go ahead and watch this title movie here. All right. Produced by Tech-Multiverse. Whoa. Want the bird to drop a turd right there. And title sequence. Woo. Super dramatic. Can you believe all that work for 13 seconds worth of video? Yeah, we're going to call this one, and we're going to say, this, my friends, is good enough. We're going to go ahead and make some music for this thing and wrap up this project because I want to finish it today. And I've got about a couple hours to make some music to it. So here we go again. We're going to go in, if you want to join me on that. I'll leave the link to the video for making the music there. You can also check out the video where I created the original sequence and learned all the color grading that I used. You know, if you want to spend some time watching me learn, we're up to about 4 hours now, maybe. Probably be up to 5, maybe, by the time this is all done, just to create a 13-second title sequence. So, welcome to reality. Hope you're having fun. Thanks for watching.